All right, guys, welcome back to Crossman Productions. Guys, I am really excited about today. You know that I'm a huge Power Slap fan. We've been following a lot of the guys from Power Slap. We've had, you know, Ron Beta on the show. Wolverine, he's been on a couple times. Great guy. Love having him on to talk. We've had Damien DeBell. Uh, Recently we just had Manu on, and now I have the chance to talk to another Power Slap guy who is actually coming all the way from South Africa. This guy's done it all, man. So I'm really excited about bringing him on. So if you guys watched Power Slap 6, you saw Danie Van Heerden and Manu go up against each other. So there's a backstory on that we're going to talk about later. But let me go ahead and bring Danie on. What's up, Danie?
Good in yourself.
Man, thank you, brother, so much for being on the show, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I've been following Power Slap for a while now. I want to say probably maybe about a year. We had Wolverine come on and talk to Wolverine, and then Damien DeBell came on. Recently we just had your buddy Manu, another great guy. And then now we got the chance to sit down with the Pit Bull, man.
That's it.
Well, cool, man. So, kind of tell my audience a little bit about yourself. Like, where were you born and raised, and what was life like for Danie growing up?
Well, where do we start? Born in Johannesburg, raised in the Vaal Triangle, now stay in Pretoria. That's all South Africa. I've been on the Power Slap season 2. My first time in Vegas, obviously, and then obviously on Power Slap 6, the live event.
Right.
Going back a little bit more, I've done it all. I've done karate as a kid. I've done kickboxing as a kid. I've done professionally. I've done boxing. I was number 5 in the SA ranks. I've done K1. I've had 1 win. I've had 1 loss. I've done Muay Thai. This is professionally. I'm undefeated there. I got my bare knuckle boxing license due to COVID. That never happened, but I got the license. I've got the license in All Stars Fight League. Not sure if you guys are familiar, but around about 2015, 2016, there was a All Stars Fight League event. It was USA versus South Africa.
Right.
So they basically had 164 fighters in all weight divisions. You have to have 2 fights one night. If you lose, you fall out. I went all the way there to the finals. I fought Reiners Pogboas, something like that. He was the Russia Lavita world champion. I beat him in first round, 1 minute 20 seconds. Done strongman, and now the Power Slap.
Man.
That's me.
So that's a big gambit of different sports. So growing up, you grew up in South Africa, right?
That's correct. Grew up in South Africa. I'm a sibling of 13 kids, 7 boys, 6 girls. Same father, different mothers. So we were growing up having competition. I mean, even in the household.
Right. So what kind of got you into sports? What drew you towards that?
Well, actually, my father, he would have fought Pierre Kutz in 1981 for the SA title in boxing. Basically, from there, he pushed us into combat sports or into sports, if I can say it that way. He obviously wanted us to do boxing. I fell in love with wrestling and mixed martial arts due to, for me, boxing is boring. It's got jab, hook, and uppercut, and you have to be fit. So for me, that's tough. I hate running. I only run to the kitchen when I'm hungry now. But I mean, what other not than slap fight?
Well, so now going from wrestling and boxing and all the different sports that you were in, Power Slap's a whole different beast. I mean, there's not, than what MMA is. I mean, you're literally just standing there letting somebody. What kind of drink?
That is correct. I mean, this is the only sport you do not have to move. You only move your arm. So on our cardio level, it's the only sport that can get up off the couch. Let's say it that way.
So, what kind of drew you to Power Slap?
Well, I actually like competition, and I've been following a guy. I think it's in Russia. That fat guy that eats the watermelons, and I thought, you know what, I can do the same which he does. And we eventually did our first event here in South Africa. It wasn't sanctioned yet, and then one of my TikTok videos went viral. It got like 17.6 million views. We got taken down because of dangerous acts, and I was in conversation with Power Slap roughly for a year. Just sharing messages, and then they found me on season 2. Up to today, it's still too good to be true. But I'm in here, done the event, best entertainment in a short period of time. I mean, this is the only sport anyone wants to watch, and he's too scared to stand up and go to the toilet or even look away because you might miss the knockout.
So, do you remember your first fight? What was that like when you went into that first fight?
I do. My first fight happened in 2022. It was against a guy from Woodbank here in South Africa, also a big name. He actually won the coin toss, and he gave it to me. So in my head, I'm thinking, what does this guy know, which I do not know? I mean, you're giving your slap away for me. If you know my credentials, that would be a bad decision. Because, I mean, slap fight, if you win the coin toss, you win like 50% of the fight if you can aim. If you can't aim, you're losing 50%. But in any case, he gave the coin toss to me of the slap, and I knocked him out the first round. He was out for, I think, 5 to 9 minutes. Wow. And for me, it was bad because we did not have a commission yet. So I'm thinking, if someone dies on stage now, that would be very bad. Luckily, he got up, shook my hand, I shook his hand, and fell in love with it straight away.
Man. So, so that was the first one, and then going into Super Bowl weekend, where they had Power Slap 6. That was probably one of the biggest events they've had since Power Slap's been around. They had it before Super Bowl Sunday. It was the weekend of Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, they had a great lineup. You had a lot of celebrities show up. Explain what that was like for you.
Well, for me as a South African, you're stepping on stage to a table to slap my best man. And you have celebrities come to watch you to slap the shit out of your opponent. I mean, and you get paid by Dana White. For me as a South African, that's achieving all the blocks.
Right.
So, and being on the Super Bowl weekend, I mean, here in South Africa, this only looks like it happens on the movies. And we were there on a live event, witnessing it like face to face. It was, I cannot explain this. I cannot explain.
I know that it was like huge. It was busy. And I think that hopefully that puts Power Slap over the top where now they can start opening it up to the public and, get it on different platforms. Dana White did a great job of getting this thing, moving this thing along and getting publicity for it. Like you said, on TikTok, these guys are getting, millions of views. So I want to see it go more mainstream.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my opponent, if I'm not mistaken, one on TikTok is on 101 million views.
Wow.
I mean, on what other sport do you get that views? Unless if it's super famous people.
Right.
Unless it's a Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather type of thing. you're only getting it as slap fighting.
Right. So, and the other thing I told Ron is I would like to see you guys be able to travel because, like, right now they do it in Vegas. I know that when it was slap fight, they kind of traveled around a little bit in different locations. I'm waiting for you guys to get to Texas so that I could come see you guys.
Well, I'm also waiting for to go to Texas. I mean, traveling is definitely one of the bucket lists, and I'm going to Vegas for my second time in a row. I mean, if they tell me, Danie, you're fighting in 3 days, I'm hopping the plane like now.
Cool. So now, that weekend of Super Bowl Sunday, that was a busy week for you because that same week you got married.
That's correct. We got married on the 6th of February. We then had the slap fight competition the 9th, but unfortunately we had to flew back on the 10th. So straight after the event, I had to go back to the hotel to be in time for my flight. So I unfortunately missed the Super Bowl, but I definitely followed it. But yeah.
Who was you rooting for on the Super Bowl?
Well, 49ers, of course, because when I was a kid, when the PlayStation 1 came out with that football game, I think it was NBA or NBL or something like that, I always played with the 49ers.
Man, I actually thought the 49ers were going to win that thing. So,
well,
yeah. So here you are, getting married, and then 3 days later, you're in Power Slap 6, and you're facing your best man in that round. What was that like?
Well, for me, it was an honor. I was with Makini Manu in the house. We were actually in the same team, in the blue team, the winning team, of course. And I get to know him as a person. And the nice part of him, he's also competed in the WWE. So he's also a sports person and he's also a big name in the sumo wrestling. So, I mean, what not better than finding a guy that also knows how to market himself?
Right.
I mean, we step on the stage, we go to business, we're bringing our best. Unfortunately, he clubbed him. Sorry for me clubbing. Yeah. I can't take this one, But anyway, guys, he's being interfering. You can't aim. I just need to take him out of this whole time. I mean, we went to business.
Right.
We've done our job. And from there, we buddies again. We take it from there.
Right. So, because you guys are friends and you guys, go against each other during that week, did you guys talk a lot of trash at each other?
Actually, we did. We did it professionally. We also went on that Eat Your Heart Out there at Durango. And it was me, Manu, and Evian. We were all three super heavyweights. So it was fun, man. It was really fun.
See, I know if it was me and my friend, we'd be talking trash the whole time. All the way up to the match we'd be doing. So now from there, so if somebody wanted to get into Power Slap, what is your biggest advice for them?
Well, for me, if someone would want to get into Power Slap, make sure you can take a punch or slap.
Right.
My personal opinion, anyone out there can give a slap.
Right.
Not anyone can take a slap.
Right.
And personally, I think that is the only thing you cannot teach yourself, to take a slap. I mean, you can train your jaw, you can train your neck, you can train your movement, you can train your slap, your aiming, you can do all of that. But you can either take a slap or you can't take a slap. Personal opinion.
Right. And we talk about the coin toss. How important to you is winning the coin toss?
Well, personally, it's not so important for me. Let me tell you why. If you win the coin toss, if you can aim properly, so that will be a benefit of you because then you got a 50% chance to knock out your opponent. But I mean, if you win the coin toss and you cannot aim, that can be a foul on your first slap. I mean, 2 fouls is DQ. So, how important is that coin toss?
I had that conversation with Wolverine. Wolverine told me he's never won the coin toss. He's always had to get slapped first.
Well, I've also never won the coin toss. This is the first time.
Right.
But I can definitely guarantee you, if Manu did won the coin toss, he would have had 2 fouls.
Well, that's not good. And then that's the other thing too. I noticed on Power Slap 6 is that there was a lot of DQs in Power Slap 6. Do you think that was more nerves, or do you think that the guys from Power Slap 6 was trying to be like more careful because they had such a bigger crowd, and I would say they're more scrutinized, but there's more people watching.
Well, my personal opinion, your officials and refs are there to look after the fighters. So we as fighters, we can't really see what is happening to us. So
Right.
if an official tells me, you know what, you're out, I take his word for it, and then I'm out. I'm not going to argue with him because he obviously can see it from the side angle, which I cannot. But unfortunately, I was one of the DQs.
Yeah.
If I can give my opinion on that, if I know the rules correctly, I gave a high clap on the eye on my second slap. So according to the rules, it should have been a no contest. But, I mean, McKinney, where were you balls? I thought you were going to come back and say, you know what, I can take it.
Well, when I talked to Manu, he wanted to keep going, but they stopped it because they said something that they thought he couldn't hear. He thought they stopped it because of the nosebleed.
That's the discussion we're having. I mean, if you check on the Facebook post, for all the people that ask him, you know what happened, he said he had ear infection the week before. So I'm not sure if it's just a way to comment on the guys or was it true. But according to me, they also do that stats or checkups beforehand. So why did McKinney Manu not tell the officials you could not hear?
That's because he wanted to go against you.
You see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely guarantee you this.
Yeah.
I am for sure. Well, I'm not talking about the crazy wine yet.
Right.
But on the other super heavyweights,
Right.
I can nearly guarantee you a lot of them are scared of my slap.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. So, the super heavyweights right now, the Crazy Hawaiians holding the title.
Correct.
And I know that you got 3 guys, because his brother and then you and Manu are all fighting to get to the Crazy Hawaiian. So what does it mean for you to get that championship?
Well, I mean, in the slap fight, starting out, anyone would want that belt. I mean, that's the only target people want to see. Personal opinion, I think if you have the belt, you're going to open so much doors from there.
Right.
So it's super important. I mean, for me, I know for Manu, it was he needed some cash for his boy.
Right.
I respect that. I mean, he won on the night. Well done to Manu. I wanted to get my family out of South Africa. So if I can get that belt, getting the family out of South Africa would be 50% easier if I can imagine it that way.
Right. So where you want to bring your family to?
Well, I'll move to Vegas. I mean, I've been there twice. My boot stays in California, but apparently it's a little bit more expensive. Right. And we are now, nearly 19 Rand to the dollar, so we are like super poor. But definitely Vegas.
Man, that's one of the things that I'm hoping transpires from, them doing Power Slap 6 during Super Bowl weekend. Is I think that that brought a lot more awareness for Power Slap. They had a huge crowd. Somebody said that they made like 300,000 at the door. And then, it brought it on a bigger stage. And then you had the celebrities show up. You had Charles Barkley, Tom Brady was there. I mean, you had a ton of people. Travis Scott. So hopefully that brings it to another level where, and I told this to Manu and Ron, is I'd like to see them do like a weekly show where each week you get to see people who's competing to go to get the belt, get to fight and to get to the belt, and making something like a weekly show where you guys get to come in and it helps you guys get paid because every fight you guys are in, of course, is you guys get paid. And then it becomes a weekly show that people can just tune in every week.
Well, I think this would definitely be a great idea. I mean, what not better doing podcasts than to get your name out? I mean,
Right.
for me, I'm all the way from South Africa, and to get my name out overseas. I mean, here in Texas, I had a couple of guys in Vegas, and then obviously in South Africa. But South Africa is well, dead, if you can say it that way. So,
Right.
yeah, if we can get our name out there to the international guys and maybe pick up one or two sponsors for social media or marketing, that would be great. I mean, from there we can pick ourselves up and take it from there.
Cool. Another thing that I talked to the guys about is branding. Branding your name and your logo because you go by the nickname Pitbull. Have you thought about creating a brand for yourself?
I'm sorry, you were breaking up. Did you ask creating a name?
Creating a brand for yourself, like merchandise.
Well, I actually do have a brand.
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
called Dominant. Wait, where's the camera?
All right, cool.
So here's my brand. It's obviously Dominant.
Uh-huh.
This is also the promotion we run here. Let's turn this way. Finish here. So at the back it says Slap League at down the back, and then it's obviously Dominant.
All right, cool. So where can somebody?
So that's for the D. I don't want to do like a Pitbull thing. That would be more like supporter shirts.
Right.
But as a brand, this is the brand.
Cool. So if somebody wanted to buy your merchandise, where would they find it?
Well, currently you guys can inbox me. We're doing only inboxes at this moment. We're trying to set up eBay so we can supply to all the guys all over the world. But we're still in progress of that.
Cool. So now tell me this: with all the new people coming up, who do you think is the next big star coming up?
Are you talking about the season guys now?
Yeah, the season guys.
Well, personal opinion on the season guys, I've only been with a season 2 guys. So the guys that have been in Power Slap 1, for some reason, this is how it happens, or what normally happens. So the guys that are in from the beginning, for some reason, they last longer in the long run. The guys that the newcomers, as they get in, they only take 1 or 2 and then they leave. They I don't know, they probably see too much competition on it.
Wow. Yeah, I noticed that too, because like Wolverine's been from the beginning. Damien DeBell's been from from I was like from the beginning, but he's been there for a while. So you have you got Darius, Turpin. You got a couple of the guys from has been there for a little bit. So and then you got Wolverine's about to face Turpin again. That's gonna be a good match in Power Slap 7. So
yeah.
So so let me ask you this, because you've done a lot of sports. What is the biggest thing you've learned during your time playing sports?
So I think the signal's a bit bad. You asked what is the biggest thing?
Okay, so you've done a lot of sports, played a lot of sports. What's the one thing you've learned during that time playing sports? What's a big lesson you learned?
A big lesson I've learned is never think either the strongest, the fittest, or that you're going to be on top forever.
Mm-hmm.
A newcomer would come and take your place. So what I have learned, never lose your hunger. Doesn't matter what sport you are, never lose your hunger, because once you lose your hunger, the hard work and focus and all of that start going out the door.
Cool. And how do you maintain that? How do you maintain that hunger when you're going into these different sports?
Well, my focus is obviously family.
Right.
I mean, I believe I'm currently the only one that can help to get them out.
Right.
For safety, obviously. I mean, that's my main goal.
Right.
So if I'm the only way out for them, I need to do my best. So whether I'm tired or not feel like it, you need to change that mindset and get up and going again. So obviously the guys out there. So I believe you have motivation and then you have commitment. So motivation does not always last because it goes out the door. You're tired, you're sore, you're this, you're that. But then the commitment needs to step in and say, you know what, you still need to do it. This is a commitment.
Wow. So, and that's great advice too. So, you know, anybody who's thinking about getting into any sports, I mean, you know, actually, I think the hunger does drive you, you know, to succeed in that sport. I wanted to ask you too, at Power Slap 6, what was the biggest upset do you think that you saw there?
The biggest upset, I must say, Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
That was. I did not see that coming. So Ryan, well done on that.
Right.
I must say, Jackie and what's her name? Sheena.
Sheena Bathory.
Yeah, due to the lift. My opinion on that, 90% of mixed martial arts guys or boxing guys, or that's been in any other combat sport, even here in South Africa, they all lift their feet. So I'm not sure if someone just should have shown Jackie more or less, and then she just should have trained it a little bit.
Right.
It was a good punch, but unfortunately it lifted. So yeah, and unfortunately due to the power slap rules, you're not allowed to.
Yeah. You know, and I was the same way. Because coming in, you know, I was a big Sheena Bathory fan. You know, and that's one of the fights I looked anticipated the most of. You know, for Power Slap 6 is that fight. And when Jackie came in and you know, just laid Sheena out the first slap, I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Do you think that Sheena came in a little bit overconfident, or?
Well, I've bet Sheena on the Power Slap 6 at the Wayne and the before interview. Personal opinion, I think Sheena was quite down to earth. Obviously, she's confident, but then again, it's like going into a fight. Everybody needs to be focused. Everybody needs to be ready. No one's going in for that loss. But unfortunately, your opponent has to respect that as well. They need to focus on the rules. I mean, if you just want to go for the knockout, if I need to lift my feet, I can guarantee you I'll probably knock out anyone. Because it's not allowed. It's like going to play soccer or and then grabbing the ball and run with it. You're not allowed. So try and stick to the rules, and then it's quite difficult though. Slap fight is quite difficult.
Right. And you know, we talk about this a lot on the shows that the rules have kind of changed, and they've kind of defined the rules now from the beginning. You know, and now, you know, you got you know, you get penalized for clubbing, you get penalized for stepping, and for flinching. So and now it's what, 2 clubs and you get disqualified?
That is correct. I mean, I slapped McKinney high,
Right.
And then it was a foul, but unfortunately he could not continue, which should be no contest.
Right.
But if I think about it this way,
Right.
if Manu did a business move,
Right.
because remember he already had one foul, so for him snapping again, the chances of him getting another foul is quite like 80%.
Right.
So he probably had to do the business thing, because if you check the replays, Terp gave him some heads up. So I'm not sure what Terp said, but Terp spoke, or they spoke on his right ear, and I slapped him on his left. So I'm the only guy that can slap you so hard, you can't smell, you can't hear, and you can't feel. So I can knock 3 symptoms out of you.
Right.
I'm the only one.
Wow. So, have they told you who you're gonna go up against next?
Sorry, just repeat that.
Have they told you who you're going to face next? Do you know yet?
Not yet. I'm waiting for the call. Well, if I think of it, I do not want to rematch Manu now. I'm
Right.
not sure if Manu is ready for my slaps. It's, sorry, this one again. He always does it. I'm not sure if Manu is ready for my slaps. I would definitely like to fight Kalani. I mean, he's a tough guy. He's got a neck, he's got a body, he's got arms. So I want to fight the guys high in the ranks. If I can't get the crazy one, I mean, we on current weight. So crazy one, you're still on my list, since I started it. But I'm not sure in what order they're going to fight. So McKinney, my thoughts tell me McKinney might fight the champ. I might fight, say, Hitman or maybe Kalani. Then Elian is number 5. He might fight also Hitman or Kalani or even me. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably fight anyone that they give me. I don't care if they're higher or lower. Obviously, if I can prefer, I'll go higher, but I'll fight anyone.
Right. So, and that's the thing too. That Wolverine was upset with is that he beat Turpin, and then now they're making giving him an automatic rematch when he thinks that Turpin lost. So Turpin should have fell in the rankings, and whoever was second should come up and get to face him. You know what I mean? So he's a little upset about that. But that's what.
Opinion. Yeah, well, personal opinion on this, I do think a champ needs to have a say on who to fight and who not to fight, because I mean you work for it, so you might have some sort of decision on who to fight and who not. For a champ to fight the guy you already won, it's not like I'm going to do it again. I mean, for Turp, it's great because now he's got the chance to go the title again. But I personally do feel like a champ must have a say. You know what? If he doesn't want to, you can say, Turp, fight someone else. You need to prove, or give someone else a chance, which probably would be an easy match for Wolverine. I think Turp is the only one up there currently on that division.
Right.
And after all, this is slap fight, so the KO is going to happen.
Right. I was thinking too that each league is tough. Each division is tough. But when you look at the super heavyweight, the weight that you guys are in, you guys got a lot of big guys competing.
Sorry, the signal is very bad. You said we in the super heavyweights.
In the super heavyweights, you guys have, I think to me, that's one of the toughest divisions because you guys have so many big guys that are competing.
Well, personal opinion, this is slap fight. You have knockouts in any division. Right. But obviously, everybody wants to see the bigger guys slap the shit out of you. I don't know, for some reason, it just looks better if you get slapped by a super heavyweight. But I mean, the nice thing about slap fighting, you can have knockouts in literally every weight division. Right. I mean, anyone can come in and just knock you out. This is the most humbling sport out there.
Right. And we were talking about this too. Slap fight's the only sport that I think men anticipate women in that sport, as much as they do the guys. We were talking about Sheena and Jackie. That was probably one of the most, like for me anyways, that was one of the most anticipated fights in that, other than I really did want to see you and Manu go up against each other. But so what do you think about that? Having you're in a sport where like if you have the WNBA or some of the football, people don't watch the women's division as much as they do the men's. This is the only sport I know that has both, and people anticipate both.
That is correct. I mean, look how far slap fighting is only for what they're going on 2 years now, or roughly
Right.
3 years. And I mean, the views on slap fighting is insane.
Right.
Whoever would have thought that slap fight would happen, would grow like this? It's insane.
Right. And again, I wanted to grow. I wanted to grow so where you guys travel and, you guys be in different states. I heard that they got sanctioned in Texas, California, and they're trying in Hawaii. I guess they're trying to get it sanctioned in Hawaii.
Well, I think once they get it sanctioned in Hawaii, that would be the perfect match for the crazy Hawaiian to compete in. I mean, even Kalani and all the Hawaiians is there. So
Right.
we need to go to them and show them, what, we are also here.
Right. My last question is, once slap fighting is over, what are your plans? What are you wanting to do?
Well, once slap fight is over, if I think of it this way, you're going to see me for a few years in slap fight still. So it's not going to be over soon.
Because I see a lot of you guys, after you guys' career, getting involved in, advertising and marketing, Power Slap, getting in the, I guess, the main office, pushing it too. So I told it to Ron. I'm like, at some point, later in your career, I can see you out there really pushing. Because for me, Ron is more like the Hulk Hogan of Power Slap. Every time you turn on Power Slap, you see Ron's face, on a Power Slap game, and all the things that they're always advertising. And so, I told him that he should take advantage of that. Have you thought about the same thing?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, even here in South Africa, if you open slap fight, you see it on. So,
Right.
Why not take advantage of it and market yourself through the roof? I know he's not very good at marketing. I've been checking some of these stuff, but if he takes advantage of this, he can be the next big thing.
Right. So he's just a quiet guy. He doesn't like being in the spotlight like that. But I've told him, man, you got to take advantage of it because it'll help you in the long run. But anybody who's wanting to follow you, like in your career, what's the best way for them to follow you?
Well, for the guys that got Facebook, you can follow me on Danie Van Heerden, the same as here at the bottom. If you got Instagram, I'm at Danie Pitbull. I'm also on Twitter at Danie Pitbull. Also on TikTok, Papa Don. And then what else we got? We also got YouTube. I'm not so active on the YouTube. That's probably the one I need to be active on. But I'm quite a bit on Instagram, so that would be the fastest reply. And we also got a couple of fan pages, but Danie Van Heerden would be the main one on Facebook, and then at Danie Pitbull Instagram. So yeah, if there's any other guys there looking to sponsor and get on board with the social media, I'm active with it, so we can walk a journey and get the brand out.
Awesome. So, and whenever they tell you who you're fighting next, let me know and we'll get you on the show again so that we can talk about it.
Perfect. Thank you. I'll let you know.
All right, cool, man. All right, guys. Like I said, man, I've been a big fan of Power Slap. excited to see this sport grow. And, that's why I bring these guys on, is because, I want to help them get, their names and their brands out there, and see this thing, skyrocket, and see these guys get paid, for all the hard work they're doing. So again, Danny, thank you for being on the show. I had a great time getting to know you, man.
Well, likewise, and thanks for having me. Thank you guys. Remember to tune in here or wait this side.
Cool. All right, guys. Until next time, remember, you are uniquely designed with the purpose, and always keep moving forward. Peace.
Thank you.